Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing Nuke.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Now, Shawn Showtime Porter, a lot of people missed this during the fight card when he was fighting Danny Garcia. One of the prior warm-up bouts was going to be against Yordenis Ugas. He was fighting for the WBC second title eliminator. And so at this point, since he's won that fight, he's ready to face either world champion for the IBF, which is Errol Spence Jr., or Shawn Showtime Porter for the WBC. Right now, he's just called out Shawn Porter. He would love to make that fight over the Errol Spence fight, especially since Errol Spence can delay that fight for longer, since he's looking at a Mikey Garcia fight first, then a potential unification with Shawn Porter. So Yordenis Ugas is the next potential opponent for Shawn Showtime Porter. This is his statement. We won today, and I think I showed everyone my talent. Who improves to 8-0 at 147 pounds. So keep that in mind. This guy is 8-0 at 147 pounds with, I believe, about 4 knockouts since he's moved up to 147 pounds. He also stated, I'm happy with my performance. I showed enough. Now I'm ready for a championship fight. I want Shawn Porter. I'm here to compete with the top level guys in the sport. So that's a very interesting statement from Yordenis Ugas, and it shows that he's really, really ready to take on the big challenges in Shawn Porter. Now, clearly in that fight, I don't believe Yordenis Ugas was active enough to stop or beat a guy like Shawn Showtime Porter. I just don't believe that style makes fights, and I do believe that style makes fight, but I don't believe Yordenis Ugas has the style for that. He'd be better suited against a slower opponent with a less punching output. Yordenis Ugas' record stands at 23-3 with 11 knockouts. His knockout percentage is very low. So for a guy like Shawn Showtime Porter, that would be very difficult for him to win that bout, for the simple fact that he's not going to punch enough. His punch volume is going to be so low, and Shawn Porter is going to be so high that it's going to cause him hell all night. Shawn Porter likes to maul his opponents, and Ugas is a pretty much pure body puncher. He's tactical. He's a good boxer. He's undefeated at welterweight. So he's very, very talented. He's a big guy. So all these things plays in his favor, but his activity is going to cost him at some point. You have to look at it like this. Shawn Porter just got out of a fight with a much harder puncher in Danny Garcia, a much better guy with a better skill set, and he was not able to keep up with Shawn Porter's activity. Now, me personally, I had that fight a draw. But if you had it going either way, I can understand. I felt like Shawn Porter missed a lot of shots on the inside, and unfortunately it wasn't always accurately scored that way. I felt like Danny Garcia won the last round and the first 3 rounds. I gave all those rounds to Danny Garcia, and I've also gave him a couple middle rounds as well. Other than that, Shawn Porter won 6 rounds. He won 6. And I think that his lack of activity hurt him, or even the lack of appearance of activity hurt him. He was active at points, and he tried to combat Shawn Porter, but that's not his style. His style was being a great and aggressive counterpuncher, and he was accurate with almost half of his shots. I believe the punching stats showed that he was about 46% on all shots thrown. And that's pretty fucking amazing. That's pretty fucking amazing for any fighter. Now, Yordenis Ugas is pretty much a straight body puncher. He'll go for the head at times, but with a mauling attack like Shawn Porter, he's never faced an opponent like that. Even though he's on a win streak and he's doing well, he's never been knocked out. I doubt Shawn Porter stops him. I just think that he will be overwhelmed in a 12-round decision. Shawn Porter would be able to get him out of there. Another fight for Shawn Porter, if he wants to delay that, is that he could move on to Jesse Vargas, who I believe is ranked number 3 by the WBC rankings. He's 28-2 with 1 draw. His most recent and notable fight coming against Adrian the Problem Broner with the majority decision draw over 12 rounds earlier this year. He's also fighting other top-level fighters like Saddam Ali, in which he's beaten and knocked out within 9 rounds. He's also fought Manny Pacquiao and lost a 12-round unanimous decision. And he has a fight coming up in October against Thomas Delorme. The Mexico-Puerto Rico rivalry is alive and well on DAZN. He is a DAZN fighter. So if he gets that fight done with Thomas Delorme, he gets past, it looks great. That is a big fight for Shawn Porter to want to take on than Yordenis Ugas. At least Jesse Vargas has a name, has a brand, and that's something that would give Jesse Vargas an opportunity to compete for another world title. So I think that'll be a bigger, better fight. But again, if you want to let, network stand in the way, then you could end up taking a fight against Yordenis Ugas, a much less talented fighter or accomplished fighter compared to Jesse Vargas, and we'll see what happens. But those are pretty much your two potential fights for Shawn Porter, Yordenis Ugas and Jesse Vargas. Please let us know what you think, and you must absolutely positively subscribe. IBFP.